Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I'm going to use this placemat that I got for 75% off at Hobby Lobby, and this piece of watercolor paper that I used my 40% coupon on to make a watercolor journal that I'm going to take on my trip with Hannah for her graduation trip, because we want to do some, try to do some watercolor landscape type stuff while we're there. And this is not coming off as cleanly as I thought it might. Let's see if I don't want to melt the plastic, but okay, well that did pretty good, but I didn't want to get it too hot. So okay, so I'm going to use this to make my cover, and I was planning to do two. Well, I'm still going to do two, but you're just not going to get to see but one of them, because Hannah she thinks that she just wants her big piece of watercolor torn into fourths, and then which would make it about this size, and then put it in here Midori style so she can take it out, so she'll have big pieces to work on. I don't think I want mine that big, but Hannah really likes to float. Let me just use this as an example. She likes to float everything in the middle of her page when she watercolors and not have it go to the edges, so she likes to work on bigger pieces of paper because it gives her more space to do that. But she decided she would rather wait until I get mine done and then she might decide to do it differently. This placemat is 11 by 17. So it just lends itself really well to this project. But I don't want mine to be that, my pages to be that big. This piece of paper is 30 by 22, which is why Hannah's quarters would work, because the pages would be exactly the same height as this, but they would be in a little bit on each side. They wouldn't be quite as long, because they would be 15 inches long rather than 17 inches long. I'm thinking about folding mine either up or in or something. I'm wanting to make some pockets to hold my water brushes and maybe a little rag. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I haven't figured out yet. If I take 30 and divide it by 3, then I have 10-inch pieces. Let's see how big is 10 inches. Okay, so my pages would be this big. That's pretty big. And if I did 22 and divided it in half, that would be 11. Divided in half would be 5.5. So my pages, if I did that way, I could get 6 pieces that were 11 by 10. And so when they were folded, they would be 10 by 5.5, which is really maybe a little bit tall for me, but let's see what, if I made my pages 5.5, see, I just would need this much. So this could either fold over, but the 10, would just make it about an inch too tall. So I would be okay with it being, especially if I'm going to do it Midori style, because that way I could put my holes really at the top of the paper and have extra space there. I like that idea. But I also could fold this in. Okay. If I do it about 6, that would be, let's go here, at 12. So all of this, you can't really see it good, but all of this is extra for me if I make my pages that size. One thing I could do is cut it down to about here and then fold this over and make a pocket and move this over here and make a pocket, which I may do. I don't know how easy this will fold. I don't know. I'm going to get my papers the right size first. And to do that, I'm going to mark it at 10. Let's find a pencil here. Okay, I'm going to mark it at 10 inches. And then at 10 inches. And that should leave 10 inches. Not quite. Let's move this. Let's see if okay. Now that, I'm just going to use those marks to, as a place to fold my paper, because I don't want to cut it. I want torn edges. Okay. This is 140-pound watercolor paper. And the reason I didn't buy 300-pound is because I don't think you could do this with 300-pound watercolor paper. I think it would end up, where's my bone folder? I just don't think it would work out because it's just too, you would have to cut it, I think. And I like a torn edge. So, okay, so I'm going to take that now, and I'm going to fold it back this way. My table's not really big enough. Sorry about that. Well, my table's big enough. No, it's not, because my computer's up there. If my computer wasn't there, the table would be plenty big. Okay, and I'm just going to take my fingers and tear it right here, and then I think that should allow me to do this. Perfect. Okay, so there's one, and then we're going to just take this one and fold it right in half. Okay, so there's two, which means my pages are going to be about this size. And that's really tall for a landscape, but I can turn it this way and it's perfect for a landscape. So if I want to do like one flower, I can do it this way, or do a landscape and do it this way. This is going to be basically just a sketchbook memory book. It's not going to be, you know, something I'm doing that has to be so. This is just for me. So I'm not going to worry if I do some of them one direction and some of them the other direction. Just like I intend to go ahead and paint on the back. And I know that watercolor paper is supposed to have a good side and a bad side. But this is just a for fun sketchbook. It's not something I'm doing to sell, so I'm not going to worry about that. And this is tearing really nicely. This is Canson 140-pound watercolor paper. It is 100% cotton rag, so that's I did want it to be that good of a paper, but I didn't want to pay Arch's price for it, so. Another reason why I'm not going to worry about front and back. They don't feel a lot different. They do a little bit, but they don't feel a lot different on this paper. Actually, it's more different than I thought. But anyway, we'll just see how it works. Okay, I am going to put them where they're all turned the same direction, so at least I will know which one is the. Okay, yeah, and the rougher side is the front. So we'll turn them all that way. Because you can see the watermark is backwards, which shows this is the back of the paper. If you could see it on through the front, it would be the right way, which shows that's the front of the paper. At least that's my understanding. I've been wrong about things before, so it's definitely possible that I'm wrong. But like I said, this is for fun. I'm not selling it, so I'm not going to fret over if I'm wrong. Okay, now I'm going to take each of these and I'm going to just fold them in half. So maybe I'll do I don't know. I may need to have one sheet that's just practice so I can figure out if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I might decide I only want to work on one side and just work on the good side. I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about that part of it until we're on our trip, because that's what this is for. It's just for me to enjoy, take some art to enjoy on the trip. We're going to take some wool and some spindles and watercolors and pens, and that's pretty much going to be my art supplies on the trip. Okay, so this is my signature as it is, and I've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. So if we take this, see, the height of it's pretty good. And I can make my holes right here so that my elastic doesn't do anything to the... Okay, I'm going to scoot it just a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to... make a mark right here and right there. And I can't even see that one very good. So let's go ahead and mark it. Now then, let's see how close that is to straight. Let's see how close that is to straight. If I put this on this line, and put this right here. That would be 6 1/4. 6 1/4. That's pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to just go in. Come on. About 1/2 inch. And about 1/2 inch down here. And that's where I'm going to put my holes. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put my holes. And I'm going to be okay with just one hole at each place, because I can just have my elastic loop through there and the elastic can show on the back, which is not a problem for me. Okay. Okay. I got some little eyelets and my big bite, and these eyelets were not made by this company, so they don't work quite as well as the ones that are made by the company who made the big bite. But I haven't been able to find any eyelets of the small ones in the store, so this is what I use. Okay. Can't remember how this works. Okay, I know there's some way you open this. Okay, that was it. Forget trying to do it gently. Okay, we'll take out 2 of those. You can tell I don't use these often. I'm fumble-fingered when it comes to them. All right. And then I'm going to put my eyelet in the hole. And we're going to put it right there. Oops. Oop. Come on. Okay. Okay, got it started. All right. That's not in there all the way. These don't have the, I don't know if they're just bigger or if they don't have, I mean, thicker pieces, or if they don't have the same capabilities of the other ones. But it almost makes me wish I'd gone ahead and done a bigger hole. Somewhere. Okay, I'm going to have to get a little hammer. I'll be right back. All right, well, I tried to find the little eyelet kit that came with these, that has the little thing you hit on and the hammer, and I couldn't find it, so we're just going to have to do this. Probably would work. Well, no, it saved this, though, by putting it on the... I was thinking I probably shouldn't have that there, but that made this not being out of shape. So I'm going to pause it while I do this one so you don't have to listen to me beat on it again. Be right back. Okay. So we've got this. Got our eyelets. I'm going to get some string and put it in there. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fold this right on either side of the eyelets. and that'll give it a little bit of a spine where it won't be stressing on these when I fold it. It doesn't really need a spine necessarily, but okay, that's not working very well. Let's see if we can go in this direction. Okay, let's use our bone folder here. Oh, well, that wasn't very good. Okay, see, it didn't crack the plastic, but it cracked the print that's on it. The paint or paper, however they put that print on there. It's still very sturdy. I'm not worried about the sturdiness, but if you don't like that, doing that, then you probably don't want to use a bone folder on it. Okay. So this will look like this if I just leave this. But if I trim it to match this, then I can make a pocket with part of it right here, and I can transfer the other part of it over here and make another pocket. And I think that's what I want to do. Let's see if we can line this up. Okay, and I'm going to go to this quarter mark here and here. Yeah, that should work. And X-Acto knife. I've never tried to cut one of these before. I don't know how well it's going to work. I don't know. I can feel it moving though. So it's not straight because it moved as I was cutting it. All right, I'm going to try to straighten this up a little bit. Okay, that's probably as good as I can do. It's definitely not perfect. Okay. Well, I could, but that wouldn't, I don't know if that would actually hold water brushes if I do that. Okay, let's trim the edges here and see if, I do not know how this will match up. I don't know what size, corner thing they used when they did it. But we're just going to use this and be happy with whatever it gives us. And that actually looks pretty good. Okay. That one didn't cut very good. Let's try it again. Okay. Now then, this is the front because the flowers are going the right direction. And I think I'm just going to cut this in half. And these are going to be sideways rather than up and down anyway. Okay. They both actually need to be straightened up a little bit. So let's see if we can do that. Taking a little bit off the height, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Well, it's working. It's doing that again. So it's not much straighter. Not much straighter than it was. Okay. I'm going to stand up when I do this one. See if maybe that's the difference. Okay. Now I'm going to put these pockets in, and I'm going to go ahead and just put them on where they're the rounded corner is with the rounded corner. But I'm going to put it inside just a little bit so it's not catching on things, because I'm just going to glue it in. And that way it won't maybe get pulled out, you know, messed up if it doesn't catch on things. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see if it works. Stay tuned. Whoops. Okay. And let's get some clamps just to be safe. Okay, there's no way for me to clamp this edge. If these will stay put, I guess it won't be the worst thing in the world if that becomes a tuck. Okay. We're going to do the same thing over here. Let me go ahead and get some clamps out so I'll be ready this time. Oops. Lost one. Now, I probably could have used some E6000 or something like that that might stick better. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to let that sit like this for a little while, and then while it's getting glued down, I'm going to find me some cord to use to put in my my paper. Be right back. Okay. I left these a few minutes, and I think they're good enough. I can take those off, and we can go ahead and bind this journal real quick. It won't take but a minute to do that. So I got this. I ordered this cord from Amazon. It took like 3 months for me to get it. So those are the days, or these are the days, or whatever. That's the way things work right now. But I do have it, so I'm happy about that. And I'm just gonna go stick each end in like this, and then I'm gonna tie. And I'm not gonna tie it too tight because I don't want my watercolor paper to get bendy. And I'm just going to tuck this in there. And there's my little journal. Now, I did think while I was sitting there with this, all glued down, that it might have been better if I had used something with some kind of a gusset. Oh, I may still get to do that because look, I just pulled it off. So we may go back and do that so that I could put the water brushes and things in there, because this is not, okay, let's just take it off. There's no sense in even letting it go ahead and dry on there if I'm really wanting to change it anyway. So and I may use a glue gun or something different to glue the pocket on. All right, let's do the same over here. Okay, wow, yeah, that definitely would not have lasted very good. So if I hadn't touched it for 24 hours, who knows, maybe it would have been better, but I think I was regretting having glued it down anyway, so. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I may use something completely different to put my pockets in, and then just put this on, maybe on the front of them. Or I may choose not to put pockets in it. I'm going to have to think about that some more. But for now, I have a cute little journal. And it is, 6 by 11. 11 by 6. And I like that. I like the way that looks, the proportions of that. Not quite double, but almost. So I'm happy with it, even if I didn't get pockets in it. I may or may not add pockets later. If I do, I'll show you after the fact what I did. Now that we know those didn't work, I'm definitely going to keep these. I can use them for something else if I don't use them in here. Let's just do this real quick. And yeah, that one is not straight enough, I guess, to do good. But anyway, so I've got these that are cute too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and know that you can make a watercolor journal with really nice paper. all by yourself. God bless you. Bye-bye.